Where did you first come across this video? TikTok, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, whichever platform served it to you. Make sure you hit the comments and let us know. Because this story right here, it needs to be heard loud and clear. Let me ask you something. What would you do if a stranger's entitled teenage son tried to take your groceries, and when you said no, his mom called the police on you? What if she didn't know that you're not just any citizen, but the highest-ranking police officer in the county?
Yeah.
That happened. And what started as a quiet grocery run turned into the kind of confrontation that not only shook an entire HOA, but exposed something a whole lot uglier than rule violations. Let me take you back a few months. I had just moved into a nice gated HOA community with my daughter, Jordan. I'm a single dad. My wife passed 5 years ago, and after serving 23 years in law enforcement, I finally made it to police commander. I don't throw my title around. Most of my neighbors had no idea who I was, which was fine by me. I like to stay low-key, keep my yard trimmed, grill on Sundays, and spend my evenings fishing or watching old westerns with Jordan. Now Jordan's 16, smart as a whip, and, like her dad, she doesn't back down from disrespect. So one Saturday afternoon, I picked her up from volleyball practice and stopped by the store. We loaded up a week's worth of groceries, fresh produce, meats, a stack of cereal boxes for Jordan, and a few specialty items she likes for her meal plan. When we pulled into our driveway, we saw a boy, maybe 17, white kid, scruffy, sagging shorts, standing in our driveway. I rolled down the window. "You need something?" He looked at us, smirked, then pointed at the bags in the back seat. "I'll take that," he said. "My mom doesn't want to drive to the store today." I blinked. "Excuse me." He walked up to the passenger side, to Jordan, and said, "I saw you unload food last week. You got more than enough. Just hand over a couple bags." Jordan said, "Back off." I got out of the car. "Son, step away from my vehicle. You don't demand anything from us." He didn't move. In fact, he looked me up and down and said, and I quote, "Aren't you one of those people who work security? You live here because someone lets you." I didn't yell. I just stared him down. "You've got 10 seconds to walk away." He did, but not before spitting near the car and muttering the N-word under his breath. Jordan froze. I told her, "Go inside. I got this." 5 minutes later, I was unloading the last of the groceries when a black SUV screeched around the corner. Out jumped a woman in a peach-colored power suit, heels clicking on the pavement, sunglasses practically glued to her face. "You!" she shouted, storming toward my driveway. Behind her, that same boy. I didn't need an introduction. I knew exactly who this was. Karen Tillman, HOA board treasurer, loudest voice at every meeting, and self-proclaimed protector of neighborhood standards. "You assaulted my son," she screamed. I raised an eyebrow. I asked him to leave our property. He was demanding our groceries. He was asking politely. "You threatened him." "Ma'am," he approached my daughter, made a demand, and used a racial slur. That set her off. "Don't you pull that race card crap on me. I know who you are. I know people like you. We keep this community safe from gangs and—" I stepped forward. Calmly. "You should leave." That's when she pulled out her phone. "Fine. If you're going to threaten me, I'm calling the cops." "Oh, Karen." She dialed 911. Put it on speaker. "Yes, this is Karen Tillman from Willow Estates. I need police here immediately. There's a threatening man in my neighborhood. He's harassing my son and blocking our car." Her son stood behind her, arms crossed, smug. The dispatcher asked for details. Karen gave a tearful, exaggerated version, describing me as a large, aggressive man with military-style intimidation. I stood silently. Then I pulled out my phone and called another number. "Captain." "Yeah, it's me. I need a unit out at Willow Estates. False report in progress. I'm standing with the suspect." Karen paused. "Who are you calling?" she asked. I said, "The department. I'm your local police commander." Her face dropped. 10 minutes later, 2 officers arrived, both of whom I trained. They took statements. I handed over my Ring footage. It showed everything: the son demanding groceries, the racial slur, Karen's arrival, and her false 911 call. Karen was charged on the spot with filing a false report, trespassing, and verbal harassment. Her son, cited for racial intimidation under our state's new bias crime law. And me. I called the HOA board the next morning and informed them I'd be filing a formal complaint, with footage and charges attached. By the end of the week, Karen was removed from the board. But it didn't stop there. A local news outlet picked up the story. Headline read, "HOA mom calls 911 over groceries, doesn't know she's reporting the police commander." The video got over 3 million views in 48 hours. Karen tried to play the victim card again, but the evidence crushed every lie. She moved out within a month. As for her son, he was ordered to attend racial bias training, complete 50 hours of community service, and write a public apology. Jordan. She read his apology letter once, then threw it in the trash. "We're still here. Still grilling on Sundays. And that sign I put up near the porch? It reads, 'Respect lives here. Privilege doesn't.' So the next time someone tells you to stay quiet, remember this. Silence lets bullies win. And some of us don't stay silent. Some of us are the law."